Okay, we're back again. We're at the very, very end. I couldn't put it down. Last 2 chapters. We're going to wrap this book up today. Chapter 61. Okay. Little Milton Mosby scampered up the side of the well like a squirrel. "Don't you two try to follow me," he hollered. His voice echoed around in the narrow tunnel like an annoying bell. Then he fired 2 quick shots behind him. Oh, those rang so loud. Beck and I gave him a few seconds. Then I ripped the radio off my belt. "Storm, Tommy, Uncle Richie, did you guys hear all that? He confessed. Professor Hingelbert is on it too." I waited for a reply. There was none. "Hey, you guys. Hello? He's going to seal us down here like rats in this well." Still nothing. Great. The batteries must have died in the radio. "Come on," I said. "Where are we going?" "Back up the rusty ladder rungs. He may have quick-drying cement, but he can't be all that quick-drying. He'll just lift up the lid and shoot us, Beck. We'll dodge the bullets." "What?" "Hey, Beck, believe you can, and you're halfway there." Beck rolled her eyes. "Now you sound like Uncle Richie." "Actually, I think I'm quoting Teddy Roosevelt." "Yeah, same thing. Come on, I'll lead the way." She dashed over to the ladder. "You sure you don't want me to come up first?" I asked. "Yes, Beck. No way do I want to be behind you, your feet, or your farts. Let's go." So we scampered up the ladder. Beck took the lead. I followed. And as we neared the top, I heard muffled voices on the other side of the manhole cover. "Is that Mosby? Do you hear him welding?" "No," said Beck, who was closer to the exit than me. "How about wet concrete slopping all over the lid? Do you hear that?" "No, all I hear is Tommy and Uncle Richie." "Huh? They're making some kind of speech." I heard a metallic bonk. "Guess what?" said Beck. "The manhole cover isn't sealed." "Well, I got it," I heard Storm say, and then I heard her grunt. And I saw light and white reflection of all the floodlights illuminating the Washington Monument at night. Beck crawled out of the hole first, of course, but I was right behind her. We saw Tommy and Uncle Richie talking to a crowd of people, all of them surrounding Milton Mosby, Professor Hingelbert, a welder, and a dude with a wheelbarrow full of gray mud. "We, the people, created this country," said Uncle Richie. "Totally," added Tommy, and he was holding up the Bill of Rights for all to see. "And," Uncle Richie continued, his voice booming, "we, the people, will protect our nation and its promise of freedom from all enemies, foreign and domestic, such as these traitors right here." "Bully," cried the crowd. I figured they must have learned it from Uncle Richie while Beck and I were laddering our way up. There's everybody. I don't know if you can see that real well. Kind of blurry, kind of grainy. "I wasn't doing anything except taking an evening stroll," said Mosby, trying to wipe the rust off his hands and the dirt off his pants. "And I was here doing research," said Professor Hingelbert. "Actually," said Storm, "you were also making a full and complete confession, Mr. Mosby, in which you implicated Professor Hingelbert in your twisted scheme." "Ha! I did no such thing." "Yeah, you did, dude," said Tommy. "We all heard it," said Gus, "quite thorough and rather illuminating." "And," Storm continued, "thanks to the radio my brave brother Bick was wearing on his belt, we were able to record your confession and immediately turn it over to the FBI." Gus and Rachel came marching over. They had changed into their park ranger uniforms. They were accompanied by 2 DC Metro police and a troop of folks from the FBI wearing windbreakers. "You're coming with us," barked Gus, sounding a bit grumpy. "And you can take back your no-good hearing aid." He tossed it at Mosby. But the little guy couldn't catch it because the police were already cuffing his hands behind his back. It's a final chapter. Professor Hingelbert was arrested that night too. The welder and the construction worker, excuse me, were let go with a warning. Don't work for sleazy secret society traitors. They never will pay their bills. Labrosse, the famous forger, slipped away to forge another day. At Gus and Rachel's request, Beck and I went back down to the deep vault below the Washington Monument to reinstall the original copy of the Bill of Rights in its secure location. They sent it back down to us on the freight elevator. Tommy and Storm helped them resod the lawn we had sliced open by sending the document upstairs to reveal the conspiracy against America and its fundamental freedoms. Professor Hingelbert was unmasked as a phony and a fraud. He was the lead story on the cable news network for 3 whole days. Mom and Dad were super proud of us and Uncle Richie. "You always were my favorite uncle," Mom told him at the opening of the Smithsonian exhibit about the lost city. "And you were always my favorite niece." They hugged. It was kind of sweet if you like that sort of mushy stuff. The exhibit at the Smithsonian was a huge success. All the critics gave its rave reviews. There were lines around the block of ticket holders eager to see the interactive displays and dioramas. "Our job is done," said Dad. The next morning over breakfast in our apartment, he sounded satisfied and relieved. "Do you know what that means?" said Mom with a sly twinkle in her eye. "We don't have to stay here in Washington," I said. "We can go on another treasure hunt," added Vic. "We can do what we were always meant to do," said Storm. "Explore the world, go places we've never been before." "That's right," said Dad with a laugh. Tommy sighed. "Guess that means I have to say goodbye to the love of my life." "Which one?" joked Mom. Tommy sighed again. "All of them." "Buck up, Thomas," said Uncle Richie, bursting into our apartment. "There are new worlds to see and new hearts to conquer. Plus, I brought a breakie and a skillet." "Huh?" "Oh, it's a marvelous Melbourne mashup of eggs and emu sausage. A wonder from the land down under." "Australia?" "Right you are, Beck. Have you children ever heard of last year's fabled gold reef?" "Oh, of course," said Storm. "In 1929 and 1930, Harold said he discovered a rich gold deposit in a remote and desolate corner of central Australia. But nobody has ever found it," said Dad. "It's the most famous lost mine in all of Australia." "Yes, indeed," said Uncle Richie. "Why, it almost reminds me of a famous lost ship of the desert, which they said no one could ever find." "Until we did," said Tommy. "That's right." He turned to Mom and Dad. "You guys, I think we need to go to Australia." "And," said Storm, "Uncle Richie has to come with us." Mom and Dad grinned. "Sounds like a plan to me." "Bully," said Uncle Richie. "I have a reputation in need of repair in Australia." "Then let's go repair it," I said. "Bully," shouted everybody. Yep, we were all on our way to Australia, and who knows, maybe Antarctica too. They were the only two continents that we hadn't explored. And guess what? You get to come with us. Pack up your pens, Beck, and learn how to draw koala bears and kangaroos. Look out, Oz. Here come the kids. And that's it. Oh my goodness. I'm betting that book 7 is all about their adventures in Australia. So I hope you will continue reading, and thank you for joining me. What an awesome book and awesome series. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.